Hi guys. I know this video has been so long coming, or whatever the English is, but I think I actually now have the time to do this video. Please note that whatever I say in this video is my personal experience and it differs for everybody. Yeah. So all you can do is just learn lessons from my story, then you have your own experience too. So first of all, I'm going to start with the reason why I started learning German language. I started learning German language because I entered university in 2016. I was supposed to graduate in 2020, but COVID happened. I graduated in 2021. But I didn't receive my certificate till last year, being 2025. Yeah. So, during that period, I wanted to, go back to school again because I felt like I didn't have any school as of 2023. Like, I felt like I didn't go to university or something. So I needed to, go back to school. And I've always wanted to be a nurse. So that was how my journey for the German language began. So for you to learn this German language, you have to always know the reason why you're learning this language because you get to a point where you are like, no, I'm tired of this language and everything. What keeps you going is your reason why you are learning this language. Now, when I started learning this language, I started learning this language in August 2023. I registered in a school in Abuja. I'm not going to mention their name. I did A1 with them. A1 was a bit good, but it was not really that so amazing. Then my A2 was so horrible. What am I going to tell you from this experience? From this experience, I'll tell you that who is teaching you is more important than the institute. It doesn't matter if the institute is so pretty. It doesn't matter if the institute is expensive. Expensive doesn't mean that they're going to give you value for your money. Yeah. So the school I went to in A2 was so horrible. Every day I'm going to class, I'm crying. Everything. It got to a point I even stopped going to class because what's the point of me wasting my TP or my four to class and everything. So that was it. Then for my B1 and B2, I had to get like a teacher that taught me from my in my A1, one of the teachers that taught us in A1. Because when I was in A1 and A2, we had like multiple teachers. This teacher is teaching this one tomorrow, this one is teaching this one tomorrow. So I just had to get like a teacher and I did my B1 and B2 with him. And God being so kind, he really tried for me to some extent, yeah. So I'm actually here now. So what I'm going to say is about for the fact of you going to school, it's very important that you know who is teaching you. Everybody has their own learning method, their own teaching method. You need to find a teacher that actually fits to you. Read and you read and you understand. Okay. So that is it. So I started in August 2023. I finished in September 2024, but I didn't write the exam because I was still scared and everything. So I wrote the exam in May 2025 for the first time. So for writing the exam, you don't need to go and be writing like A1, A2, B1, B2. You need to just go and write the specific language certificate that you need. So if you need B2, just do your A1 classes, A2 classes, B1 classes, do your B2 classes, and then write the B2 exam. There is no point of you having to write the A1 good exam, the A2 good exam. Nah, just write the particular one that you need for whatever reason you're traveling. Yeah. So for booking the exam, alhamdulillah, I don't know how to say it, but that's what it is. Booking the GOTE exam is really hard. It's not easy. Yeah. You have to no, me, I was never even able to book by myself. Where the ones helping me to book. The first time someone helped me to book, the second time someone helped me to book, the third time I had to write a private exam. For writing the private exam, it's all good more together on the booking it. So maybe later I can do a video on that. So I wrote the first exam in May. I wrote my lesson during Schreiben. I passed the lesson and during. I didn't pass the Schreiben. Then I went back in July or that June, July. Yeah, I wrote Schreiben and Sprechen because I was able to do Sprechen the first time, and I passed the Schreiben and I failed the Sprechen. Then in September, I wrote the Sprechen as a private exam and I passed it. After that, I moved on to the next stage, which is trying to secure contracts. So the first time, my intention was to do house builder for that Dwale Studio. The first company I got was for Dwale Studio. But when they found out I was in Nigeria with B2, they asked me to submit CIs. And for this part of applications, I'll put it out there that I never did my applications myself. I had someone do my applications for me. Yeah. So I don't really have much to say on this part because each company, but for the requirements, each company have like what they require on their website. So you just have to go on their website and be like what the particular company needs because most of the times you need your WIEC, you need your your WIEC, your language results, I think your business card. But I know someone that they ask for hepatitis card. So every requirement is on each company's site. Yeah. What this company requires, this company might actually require an extra one. Now, from my experience with my first um, contract interview, like my first hospital class, hospital class interview, I didn't even have any question. Once they just opened my thing, we were like, they saw, like I was not in Germany with it, so I was outside. They were just like, you know what, just get us C1 and get back to us, which I didn't even bother going back again because that was around November and my birthday was already coming in December and I had like a shibi. So I was like, at that point, I was like, you know what, it's time for me. I moved past that. Then when we came into this year, because before when this year happened, I had to go around and go and meet other people and ask them like, how far, how is this house built on thing? You know, people that have left. I ever had like a friend that just left like what was it? Rapitas that just left last year. So I was asking her like how have the experience been, you know, she was like, and she's a very, very good speaker. Like she can really speak, but she wrote her exam once and passed it. I'm telling that this girl is a really good speaker. She was like that she can barely hear in the class, that she just records the things and she just goes. And I also asked other people, they're like, this is that. And God being so good. The person making applications for me, who is also my family friend, she was like, Ebube, you know what you want to say. You can write, you can read, but you have a speaking issue. So apparently when you speak to me, I want to like that thing that you said, I'll repeat it back in English. So it was a serious problem for me. So checked out other options. She was like that I could do BFD. Yeah, because me, I was also thinking of doing like German language course, but like twist and come and do the language course again. But she was like, I could do BFD. So she explained to me like everything about the BFD, how much I'm going to be paid, everything involved. And when she told me that it was an avenue for me to better my language, because I know what it's involved in studying nursing because I have a degree in public health. So it's just like almost in nursing, just that you're not doing the handling part of the feeding. So I knew what was involved. So I weighed my options. I spoke to my dad, I spoke to my brother, I spoke to my everybody I could speak to. There are even a lot of people that I went into their DMs, asked them, because I've done PMD and everything. They gave me their ideas, and I realized that PFD was just that choice and get to me. Because why am I rushing? I'm not rushing to die. I'm not rushing to anything. But I knew that language is a big barrier for me. Like especially the speaking part is really a really big barrier for me. So that was why I went for BFD. Another reason why I went for BFD is because of the fact that I already have a degree in public health. Having a volunteer experience is an addition to me and to my degree because anybody that studied public health, you know that for you to get jobs in UN, UNICEF, all those things, you need to have like voluntary experiences. So having a voluntary experience in an international organization, aside from my home country, was like a very big bonus for me. So yes, that was the reason why I went for BEd. The language and the fact that even if I said not to do nursing any longer, even if I said that, oh, this nursing, I don't think I want to do it, I have the higher chance of getting a job internationally. Yeah, so that was why I went for the BMD. Now, for the BMD applications, like I've always said, it differs, and I don't really have much information to give you guys about the BFD application because I never did it myself, and I really do not enjoy giving information that I'm not really sure about. Yeah, so let's keep to the embassy part where I can really give like detailed explanations. So for my BFD interview, I booked it in February, yeah, and I was given a date in February, March, in March to go to the embassy in April. Yeah, so it took me 6 weeks for me to get an appointment for me to go to the embassy. When I went to the embassy, they had their requirements, which I had everything also. The requirements are always in the embassy, and I always advise that you always like go back to the embassy and be checking the requirements because the requirements change. The requirements that I went with is not actually the requirement that I think they are submitting now. So even if you've seen this particular requirement before, always keep up with the embassy site. Any information that you need is on the embassy site. And let me also put it out there that you cannot sort out embassy. You cannot sort out embassy. So anybody telling you that pay me, I can sort out the embassy thing for you is a big fat lie. You're going to lose your money and you're going to cry. Yeah. So you cannot sort out embassy. That is number one. Then for the embassy thingy, I went on the 17th of April, yeah, on a Friday. My time was for 7:15. I was there before 7 o'clock. When I got to the embassy, you meet the first security checkpoint. I advise that you do not carry your bag when you get to the embassy because you don't have any place to drop it. Just go with your requirements and your money and everything. So when I got there, I met the security man, it's the man in charge of that area. I think it's Mr. Paulinus. Then, they check your VDEX form, make sure that your VDEX form, check if you've got everything. Then he lets you sit down before you enter into the next stage, which is like a gate that, that gate that turns around, that if you stand there, it turns around and you enter. So when you enter there, you meet like the other people there that are in charge of collecting your phone and putting it in a box. And that was what happened when they collected my phone, they kept it in a box and everything. And I waited for like my interview time. Now, I must state that when you're going for this interview, or anything you're doing about this German journey, it's more spiritual than physical. Because a lot of people say that they go on time and they come out, it takes so much time for them to come out. Yeah. But for me, I entered around that time 7. I came out around 8. It didn't take so much time. Yeah, that's number one. So first of all, I have to tell you that first of all, command that day spiritually so that it in turn happens in the physical. That's very, very important. When I was in my interview, they asked me for like my documents. I gave them my documents. The man asked me like, and once you have to know is that you have to be smart during this interview time because they might be asking you a question, but they're not asking you that thing directly. There isn't an indirect way to ask you. For example, when you wanted to ask me for like my date of birth, you didn't want to just ask me when did they give birth. You just asked me when was your last birthday. I was like in December 24th, like the day before Christmas, just this past month. Okay, it was like how old am I? I was like 27. It was like when did I turn 27? I was just like, this my last birthday, December 24th, the day before Christmas. I've used an indirect way to ask you like, when is your birthday? When is your date of birth? So, some people are calling it ahead and some people forge like their date of birth and change it. That is a psychological way to ask the question. So when you're in the embassy, your mind has to be sound. Your mind has to be there at every point in time. So after everything, he asked me where am I going to be doing my BFD placement. I told him. He asked me how much have I been paid. When they ask how much you're being paid and you state your figure and maybe he states a figure lower, repeat that exact figure. Because he asked me how much am I going to be paid. I was like 507. He was like 500. I was like 507. When he asked me again, he was like, so I'm going to be paid 500. I was like, no, I'm going to be paid 507. You need to know exactly everything on your contract. I don't care who did your contract for you or who helped you or whatever, whether you got it yourself. You need to know every minute details on your contract, like at the back of your hand. He asked me who was my contact and everything. They asked me where will I be staying. I said I was going to be staying with my uncle, and they asked for the proof. I gave them the proof and everything. Then what else again? He asked me, do I have any voluntary experience? I was like, yes, I have voluntary experience other than the ones, although that it's not in my file, that I've also volunteered like in a church, like in our church that it was like, what do I do in the church? I was like, we come out to cook and share to people, we go to prison places, we cook, we go to the prisons and share the food. And also that we go for medical outreach, like we just go out to communities, to the old people, take their vital signs, do their virtual acuity. Virtual acuity is like all those things that they check for the eye, whether you can see well far or near, and everything that we just do all that. And he wrote it down. Yeah. Then after that, I was given an exam, a test to write. When you go to the exam, to the embassy, expect a test, and the test differs. I think, for different people. Like for me now, I was given a bit of paper, and in that test, it's something about you should make sentence like Reise, Gesundheit, Beruf, and what. Then after that, it turns like the next page. You see, the next page is about arranging the words if they are correct. Like detect the problem in the words and know if they are correct, then you correct them. Yeah. So like something about something like Odo or Ovo, something for something, you trust them, blah blah blah. So something about although it was raining, we still go out or something like that. Something. I cannot really remember. Then the next part, they'll give you like a short passage. It's just 3 lines. 3 lines about digitalization. So the first line is about like digitalization is changing a lot of things in a fast tempo. There's something about tempo that someone can work anywhere, anytime, but it has its disadvantages. So they didn't mention like the disadvantage or the advantage. I think they mentioned only the advantages. So I cannot remember, but it's just a 3 line sentence. The sentence is just about digitalization and what it is doing in the Arbeit world. The second part is about like it has advantage. The third part is about has a disadvantage, which they didn't mention. So they now asked you like what is how is digitalization in context with flexibility, what are the disadvantages of this digitalization. There was even one I copied what they wrote on like they wrote there for them. Then there's another one they asked you like advantages and disadvantages. That one you have to use your brain. I remember when they asked you that thing, they wrote for Tyler and not Tyler. So it means that it has to be in plural. It has to be more than one advantage and more than one disadvantage. The paper is not so big, so you need to now to use your niche to more zone that out, your theoretical connector. You have to prove to them that you're in B2. Whatever level you are going to, you have to prove that whatever you're writing is in like in B2 makes sense. Yes. So that was just it about the exam. Then before the exam, I paid. So you pay. What I paid was, oh Jesus, my dad is going to see this video, but it doesn't matter. What I paid was 199,000. I think equivalent of 199,000 as of that day. They also collect like card. I was with cash and card just in case anyone doesn't work out. Yeah. So that was what I paid there. What else? Yeah. Then after that, I went home. Then 2 weeks on the dot, they asked me to send like my insurance and you know my my insurance and intended travel dates, which I sent to them that same day through DHL. And the 1 week later, they sent me my visa. So my visa took like 3 weeks on the dot, 3 weeks from the day I went. So I went to embassy this Friday. This other Friday passed. The next Thursday, they asked me to send my insurance and everything. Then upper week, they sent me my embassy. So that was really my experience. Please note that everybody's experience is different. Yeah, everybody's experience is totally different. Whatever you submit to the embassy has to make sense. It has to make sense. It has to be evidence based. It's just not about just writing anything. Your motivation letter has to align with whatever you're saying with your mouth to them, because whatever you're saying, they are typing it out there immediately for them, like so that they can see it. Then your CV has to align with every single document you're submitting. I submitted work reference, like work letter from my place of work, like where I was working in Nigeria, and the letter was sealed. It was not even stamped, it was a sealed letter. So everything has to align, everything has to make sense. You have to sit down and be like, okay, if this document you have submitted to me, does it really, really tally? Does it really make sense? Yes. So I think this is all I have to say for now. If there's something I'm omitting, I'll come back and tell you guys about it again. Yeah. I don't even know if I really shared like in depth of my journey, but if any other thing, I'll come back here and tell you guys. If you also have any question, drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to make like a video about it. And for my next video, I'm going to be talking about what you really need to know when you're learning the German language. What you really, really, really need to know. So see you guys next time. Bye. And this video is not edited. I'm going to upload it like that. So and please do not forget to subscribe. Yeah, do not forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe. Go back and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.